Hello, everyone. Uh, Coming to you tonight with a rant video, and I have discussed this with my cousin because it's in the field of science that he have numerous doctorates in. And as many of you know, on the 28th of January, 2014. Those of us here in Georgia know that we had gotten a severe winter storm that came through, and it dumped a lot of snow on us and ice. Um, it started snowing here about 12:15, 12:30, and at noontime, and immediately it was starting to stick to the trees, to the grass, grounds, everything. The roads were still a little bit warm, so they were just getting wet. Um, but I have noticed the past day or two that things are not right as far as the media and the government is concerned about it. Um, on the 28th, we had school systems that decided to go to school anyway, and then they had to let the children out early, or try to. It was too late. This came in too quickly. And we had, I know in Douglas County, Georgia, there's reports of a school bus in a ditch with children on board, and no one could get to them. And they were all out there stranded for hours until the National Guard got to them, I believe, is the report that I saw. We had people stranded on I-285, 7585, the downtown connector. They were abandoning their cars. And some people I know had to spend the night in their cars. And there's a whole chain of events that happened with this. And I'm going to try to explain a little bit of it. For one, my personal belief is that a lot of these companies that force their workers to come to work on days when it's going to be bad weather, they're greedy for money. That's the truth. Plain and simple. They're greedy for money. They don't care about their workers. And as far as the government now, Governor Deal of Georgia went on the media, on TV, radio, and basically said he didn't know it was coming. That's why they didn't really plan too much. And some of the school systems are saying that. Luckily, Henry County, where I live, they saw it coming. They had the foresight to go ahead and close the schools the day before. And I commend them for that. The other school systems, the city of Atlanta, and the governor now are saying that they did not receive word. They didn't know it was going to be this bad or anything. So they're blaming it on the National Weather Service, which is out of Peachtree City here in Georgia. And that's wrong. That's where I have a problem. Me and my cousin both do. You see, he's a climatical physicist. Like I said, he holds many doctorates in different fields of science. And he's a member of the American Meteorological Society, a lifetime member. And of course, I'm into weather myself. I'm going to be going to some classes here soon to get my certifications. And took some notes here. We put some notes together so that we can clear up the subject, so that people will know, and that basically the governor and the mayor of Atlanta, they're lying through their teeth to save their own political hide, which isn't worth nothing to begin with. 2 days before this storm, the National Weather Service out of Peachtree City issued a winter storm watch south of the city of Atlanta proper. Okay? I got a map I'm going to try to show you. It's going to be difficult to do like this, but if you can see, about here where my finger is about where Atlanta is. I'm right here in Henry County. They issued it for basically across here, which included us, and out across here, south. Okay? Now, that was a watch. To keep an eye on the situation. Start preparing just in case. Now, the news media and radios talked about their computer models and said it would be south of Atlanta. Most of the local news agencies and their computer models are not exactly the same as the National Weather Service. They just interpret what they get. And in a watch situation, anyone within the watch situation in or around the surrounding area of the watch should be preparing just in case, because the watch is not set in stone. The weather can go above the watch. The weather is not going to keep in track with a line that someone puts on a map. We should know that. That should be common sense to people. Now, on the morning of the 27th, a warning, winter weather warning, was issued to be in effect for the 28th and the 29th. Okay, a winter weather advisory was issued, put in effect for the Atlanta, for directly Atlanta and northward of Atlanta. Okay, and that was to begin at 9 a.m. Now, let me show you here from Atlanta and northward. Okay. Now, at 3:38 a.m., early morning of the 28th, a winter storm warning was issued for the entire metro Atlanta area and north. And it was to begin at 9 a.m. was the timing that they were thinking. That gave Atlanta, the school systems around, and the state time to prepare. The state should have already been preparing because of what was forecasted for the south part of Atlanta. Now, why did they not prepare? They put kids in jeopardy. They put people, lives in danger. And the public wants answers. And they don't want lies like they're getting right now by blaming the National Weather Service. As you know, Atlanta got hit. It went further north. Most of the state of Georgia got hit hard with it. Down here in the south, we're not prepared because we don't get that much snow and ice to have a whole bunch of equipment. But we should have already had what we had out preparing the roads and everything before it hit. They didn't do it. Now, along with all these information that the National Weather Service sends to the authorities, you got to understand, for Georgia to get snow or ice, a lot of things have to come together because, as you know, we're at the southern part of the Appalachian Mountains. We have high mountains, 2,000-3,000 feet, and it comes down to a Piedmont area. So for us to get snow in the wintertime, a lot of things have to come together. Now, this additional information was sent to the authorities to let them know this was a legitimate forecast, that this was going to happen. This was not something that was going to be missed. And those conditions were that the upper level winds, the currents of those winds were supporting snow. The winds was right to do that. The temperature was cold enough at that level. Okay? The air mass from about 10,000 feet down to the surface was below freezing already. The vertical shear of the wind, the different effects of the wind crossing each other, was in place. That's important here in Georgia. And all this information was sent to the authorities, and they decided not to do anything about it. That is wrong, and the people need to speak out about it. And remember it when it comes voting time. Because a lot of people were in danger. A lot of people had hardships. I know I've heard one report of a lady having to deliver a baby on 285 in her car because they couldn't get to the hospital. I heard ambulances couldn't get around because of all the traffic. Around Atlanta, inside the perimeter, I've heard reports of thousands of cars just sitting abandoned on the roads because the drivers couldn't go nowhere. Like I said, there's a chain of events that happened here with this. And something needs to be done. I know a lot of these companies have got to understand your workers aren't going to be able to come to work some days, period. And you shouldn't fire them for it or fault them for it. You got to put your people first before money. The politicians have got to understand that when an agency such as the National Weather Service issues these warnings, they're serious. They've calculated everything. They went over the numbers, and they're serious about it. This can happen. So start preparing. Now that is my rant on this. Please let your politicians know, let your government officials know that you want them to do a better job at keeping you safe. Also, to the general public, please heed the warnings and watches. Prepare. Always be prepared. Don't wait till the winter to start preparing for winter problems. Always prepare ahead of time for anything. So I hope you got some information and some education from this. And we'll talk to you later. Thank you for watching, and please stay safe out there.